Oh shoot, I need to put the chat up first, but that's okay. Okay, ugh. Wake up, body. It's gonna be a long day. Ow. If anybody's in the chat, I am sorry. I need to open FL Studio first. Oops. I'm totally unprepared. We got the green light, right? Yeah, we're fine. Continue trial. Sure. I forgot I have to do this first. No, shut up. I have to get the noise gate in first before I do anything. Which I don't know if it's gonna go the way I want it to, but we're gonna try. Because, yeah, a lot happened during the first recording of this year's Halloween special. Which, if you've been following my film fiction, you know exactly what it is. R. That's what we need. You son of a beanbag! Oh, I swear to God. I really hate this thing when it does not want to cooperate. Okay. So now I need to adjust the screen, or not. It is a big file, so it will take a minute. Hello, Treble Wine. Hello, Izzy Moonbow. You're awesome, by the way. Hello, Wendigo Studios. That name sounds familiar. Good luck on that. How's your day going? Pretty good. I just finished what I'm doing. I just finished what you could do for the daily event in Genshin Impact. Got my official new skin. That's the reason why I'm doing it in the first place. Even though the event is actually legitimately fun. Just a little hard at times. But we're gonna be doing mainly cleanup, because recording minus the voice acting files are done. Voice acting is the part where I really hate my job, because the voice acting files are all going to be different, and they're all going to sound different, and yada yada yada. You guys don't want to hear that kind of crap, but it's just part of the job. Okay, let me put the chat up here now so I can see rather than having to look down. Okay. Alright, put this over here. Why is the thing so low? That's weird. Oh well, not my problem. Okay. So we've got the file imported. Now we just need to add a noise gate. I'm not going to worry about any of the residual whatever the word is that I'm looking for. We're not going to add the EQ either, because here's the problem with these bigger files. They're all going to be under the same EQ, so that's a problem. So I have to basically do the EQ to all of them at the same time. So that'll be after I'm done with cleanup and all of the voice files are done and yada 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 yada. Well, maybe not after all the voice files are done, but I don't know. We'll see. Anyways, I need to go limiter first. Okay, do this kind of thing. When am I talking about limiter first? That's exactly what I'm using. God, I'm at fucking half asleep still. Anyways, oops. So, really? Oh. Plus, it's been a while since I've touched this program, so this should be interesting. Okay, bring the threshold down as far as we can get it. Oh, why is the metronome on? That's weird. Okay, let's see how this sounds. I guess we're doing part 2, or part 3, which is the final. Hopefully. Oh, I got the wrong file, apparently. Because that's the last file. Oops. Let me just go ahead and do this. Load sample. Get the right one this time. Return. There we go. That's the right one. Still, they were both long files each, so that'll take a minute to decode. I see where the frustration comes from. It's not frustration, it's just I don't want to do this. Because it's so much work. That's why I've really been pacing myself very, very carefully. Because I don't want to overwork myself and, you know, hit another freaking mental problem thing again. So yeah, problems. I'm just waiting for more to pop up. Because I know they're going to come. That's what she said. Okay. The bell for the final period of Ponyville High School rang... The bell for the final period of Ponyville High School rang loudly, and every student sprang into immediate action, excited for the night to come. It was Nightmare Night, and very pitchy, but that's because there's no EQ. Okay, is there any like low profile stuff that I need to pay attention to? Is this anything? Hang on. Normally this stuff isn't anything, so just looking to... I'm trying to remember if there's anything like whispering or anything like that. What is that? I don't think so. Not in the main narration. Sorry, line. As long as I can understand this. The cuss surprised no pony. Seems like it's pretty good. I can always fix it later if I need to. So yeah, that's a good enough noise gate for it, I would say. MP3 file. Need to make sure we save it as the right thing. Return. Maybe. NG applied. Holy shit, that's a lot of bars. Almost 2,000. Have you ever debated paying others or to do so, or do you want to be able to independently work on it so perseverance comes in? Oh, you mean like getting an editor? I've thought about it, especially when that freaking mental health plummet just took off earlier this year, because it's clear that I'm just getting to the point of where I have to be careful, otherwise I can really hurt myself. I'm not, 2016 Sparrow anymore, who had a lot of energy and drive. I've thought about it. I have. But honestly, the problem is that I've been doing this for, 6 years now? And I have a certain style. And I don't know, just putting it in the hands of other people to do it their style really, really just, I don't know. It's like stepping into uncharted territory. I don't know. It's just not comfortable to me. Like, it's not that I don't trust somebody to do a good job. It's just, I don't know. It's not me. So it kind of just makes me go, it just kind of makes me debate on it. Shit. Why did I blow on that? That's not hot, Sparrow. God, you're dumb. Understandable. Doing a lot of editing on your own will take a extreme heavy toll on your mental. So you're afraid you won't like your own work as much if it's in the hands of another. It's not that. I just think they wouldn't get it right. Like, considering I have it to a certain EQ, cleaning style, and all that stuff, like a certain pace, it just wouldn't sound like me, and I think that would bug the shit out of me. Hello, Don, by the way. Like, okay, going back to 2016, my style back then was horrible. My style back then was just put a music track in the back and loop it, and just take out like the mistakes. It's good. Export and you're good. But that's because I really didn't know how to edit properly back in those days. It didn't sound bad by any means for a beginner by any means, but it didn't sound bad in my opinion. And I'm not saying that to toot my own horn. I'm not saying that. I know it's bad, but it's not bad. Like, I've seen some examples of beginners' work where It's really bad. And I mean really bad. Like, you can't understand them. The mic quality is just terrible. It's just washed away. That just sounds horrible. Muddy as shit. You know, I've seen way worse attempts at first tries. Like, I'm not saying that people like that aren't, you know, trying their best, but they are trying their best. They just don't know how to do it properly. Like, my work in comparison to some others is much better than others, but how am I? I'm doing good. I've been pacing myself. I've been doing okay. I'm not being a rushed boy. I'm just trying to take it nice and easy on myself so I don't kill myself this Halloween. I get that. And while everyone starts to learn, there is always room for improvement. Yes, some people are just decent to good immediately, while others in low work. There's always someone worse and someone better. Yeah, exactly. But I look back on that and I'm like, wow. Just look at how far I've come. My narration tone is so much better. The mic quality is better. The editing is better. You know, from that to what I have now, it sounds much, much cleaner and just more professional. Like, do I consider myself a professional? Not necessarily. Like, I just do what I do. That's literally what I say. I'm like, I just do what I do. You know, I just do it in my style and just try to make it the best it can be. Like, it's not Marvel or anything like that, but from what it is, I think I do a good job. And the sub numbers going up proves it. You better be taking it easier because I hated seeing you crash like that last time. Oh yeah. Believe me, you're not the only one who hated it. I absolutely hated it. Hated the feeling. I hated the crease and drive and everything. It just drove me crazy. I wanted to work, but I knew I shouldn't because it's going to hurt. But it's a lesson, and it's a punishment that I will never forget, and that's why I've been taking it easy on myself. Halloween is the part of the year when I'm most cautious because, well, if you're not careful, you can really hurt yourself. Because Halloween is the projects that I don't think people know how much work goes into them. Like, this is just step one. This is step one. There's still a lot more to go. This is just my part of the whole thing. This is just my part. Like, this is my contribution to the project. We still got to get the voice actors and everything. And with this, it's not like my other readings where I can just go this, and this, and it's done. Nope. There is there's an actual certain order you have to go in order to get it right. So first comes recording, of course. Then I have to clean up my stuff. But I have to do it without applying the EQ first because it's in multiple files. So I want to put it all on the same EQ so it doesn't sound wonky. So I have to edit each file first with the raw audio, quality. And once I'm done with that, I can't do anything until I get the voice actors files. And it's a long wait sometimes. But luckily, I've managed to do it for the past 6 years. I am so late this year and I hate it so much. Like, don't get me wrong, I love the end product. I love seeing you guys react to it, or not react to it, but enjoy it and all that stuff. But the working is so much. And nobody likes to work. Okay, so I just needed that to have the noise gate on it. Do I want to do the other tracks while I'm right there? Or while I'm still here? I mean, I may as well. Yeah, I may as well. Okay, so just get rid of this. Wait, actually, let me double check on that. Let me double check on the end. Make sure that it took everything in. It didn't. You son of a bitch. Separated and in for the fight of their lives. Oh. Did I just... Holy crap. Yeah, okay. Alright, time to go. Oh, thank God that wasn't what I thought it was. Okay, so now we need part 2. Can I spell? Oh my god, I cannot spell today. No, we need part 2. This is a shorter file, so it shouldn't take that long. Of course, it's pleasing to look at our past to see how much we've grown. It makes us feel better about how we are now. Growth is satisfying. Don't be afraid to take time to yourself and take it easy, even if you've already learned the hard way. It doesn't hurt to get a reminder sometimes. Everyone has their own limits. Yep. Trouble mine, he never stops, he just slows down. I can applaud the sheer tenacity there. Yes, thank you. Because it's not for everybody. It's a job that, I mean, it may look easy on the surface, like just reading a story. It's not just that. It's not just reading a story. It's hours and hours of work, determination, blood, sweat, tears, the whole 9 yards. Just double check that it got everything. Holy crap. 59 minutes. Blood and her emotions going into a quest and ran like hell back into the labyrinth. Yep, that's fine. Okay, export MP3 file. What the fuck? Just do Turby. Jesus! Part 2 NG applied. I've experienced similar. For me, I'm an artist ever since I found my style. I've been at it for days and on end, and ended up sleeping through a whole day because I would be up day and night drunk. Ugh. I know him a few short years. Maybe. God, I said that wrong. Whatever. Maybe between 3 and 5. He's a bit of a rest is for the week. No, I am not. I am not a rest is for the week kind of guy. I have a sleep schedule, and I follow it the best I can. I don't seem to ever learn, though. I keep making the same mistake. Eventually, it's going to hit me hard, and I'll regret every life decision up until that moment. Left my ass off. It depends on the mistake. If it's like a schedule, you just got to set a schedule for yourself, and you've got to follow it. You've just got to basically tell your brain, no, we are following this now. For me, my epilepsy makes me have a sleep schedule, so I don't have a night hawk or day, what's the day thing, whatever it's called, a morning bird or whatever it's called. You know, I'm not that type of person. I cannot do that. So thank God for some things. Me, I go to bed around 11, 12ish, and wake up around sometimes 8 to 9 o'clock. Sometimes I can sleep in like up to 10, but I normally don't like to sleep in too far into the day, because then your day is so shortened that it feels like you know, you just got up and the sun is already starting to go down. So I don't like that. I've been here since he started. I try to be around in every live stream, but I don't always have the time. He deserves more credit than he gets. It's unfortunate how poorly people are rewarded for such hard work. Yes! I can agree they deserve so much more than a little good job. Yes. I can agree they do. Okay. The mistake would be staying up until I decide I'm going to sleep, which is if I had a choice, then it would be never. Yeah, don't do that to yourself. Sleep helps you more than you think with like inspiration and correcting those mistakes. Like, sleep would probably do you good. It would probably help to really get rid of whatever mistake you're making. It would help you draw better. It would keep your mind refreshed. You know, that's why I have to sleep. Otherwise, I'll tell you one lesson that I learned. I recorded a story once, and when I listened back, holy guacamole, I sounded as if I was half asleep. That was bad. Yeah, really bad. So basically, I had just recorded like 30 to 40 minutes of audio for nothing. And it happens. It does. If you don't realize that you're not awake enough, hello. If you don't realize that you're not awake enough, it can really affect your performance. That's why I normally wake up around 8 to 9. If I'm going to record, I'll only have maybe about 2 cups of coffee. Then I will get set. So I'll have myself be able to get up around for 2 to 3 hours. Then I'll get on the mic. Then I know my voice is, ready to be at its full. It kind of sucks, but, you just can't give a half shit performance, especially if you're recording for someone else. And I have done that multiple times. Like, I did some voice acting for a friend recently, some narration. And I'm like, okay, so I gotta wait until I'm a little bit awake. I gotta wait until my voice sounds a little, cheery, a little, more expansive. What's the word? Whatever. Like, it isn't just like, hey guys, this is Sparrow here. It's not like that. Which is exactly what that recording that I mentioned sounded like. It was bad. Yeah. I want to see him get the skill recognition that someone like Scribbler or Lost Narrator gets. The only reason they get as much recognition as they get is because of the fact that they're well known and they have a lot of credibility to their name. Plus, they have more subscribers. Such big names, fake readings. Hello. Oh my god. Tetrahedron dash. Hello. Hello, yeah. I hope that's right. Like I said, words are not my biggest thing. But the thing that I work towards the most in every single one of these readings is just you guys enjoying it. Now, the stuff that's like non-pony, yeah, I know that's for only a certain amount of a certain audience, and I am aware of that. That's why it cuts my views like in half. But you know what? YouTube was originally supposed to be a place where you could broadcast yourself and do what you want to do. So, like what I did with the Genshin Impact stream, I was having fun. Helping friends out. I help friends out all the time in Genshin Impact. I'm friends with this one girl from Australia. And we are like pals. Like, we have fun every single night. Like, we help each other out with bosses. And trust me, it's better to have friends than not friends in this game. Hello, Caroline. Sweet Caroline. Sorry. Sorry. Unsubscribe now. Part 3. I'm also working around getting a new chair. Because it's leaving nasty little black stains on the floor because of the grease that's in, I guess it's in the wheels or something. So yeah, I need a new chair. Is it? Yeah, it's loading. Ow. But that's literally my, escape when there's no pony stuff going on. Like, Genshin Impact, especially with friends, is a lot of fun. I really love your MLP, Grimdark audio dramas. I finished watching the one with the girl and the demonic rainbow dash. Oh, that was you. I saw your comment. I'm glad you liked it. That was like my first attempt with a lot of effects. Like a ton of effects. So I'm glad you liked it. Okay, I don't want to spoil this. Not an option. Wait, what? Oh, is this? Oh, okay. I'll know if it's the end. And yep, that's it. Okay. Alright, export, MP3 file. Turn to part 3. Brain is slipping right now. NG applied. Holy shit! That's a lot of bars. Holy fuck. Wow. I am sorry if I just killed everybody's eardrums. Jesus Christ. That's what I mean. You need way more subs than this. It's not right to me, honestly. It's how the world works, unfortunately. I face palmed hearing this weak airline thing. That's a UK thing, and it's flipping everywhere, I bet. The fact you stay grateful for what you have is just another aspect you have. I'm so like Senpai knows me now. I read all the comments. Stupid, nice, inspirational, and everything. Like, trust me, I get a lot of stupid comments, but I'm just like, he always notices. The only time I don't really pay attention to the comments, like, especially on live stream, is when I'm focused. Like, when I'm trying to listen to something, or I'm trying to get something right, that's when I'm just kind of silent. Which is a lot of the time, but it's just how I work. I can't really help that. Hello, Super Spike. Okay, so let's hope that everything goes smoothly here. But yeah, I remember. Oh god, the survey. Like you and Creepypasta Salad, heard that name before. Need more recognition. I've heard that name before. God, there's so many Creepypasta ones that I can't remember which one is which, honestly. Creepypasta Salad does sound familiar, though. I'm sure I've seen their stuff. Even though I'm not a huge Creepypasta guy. Are you fucking kidding me? Arrange. Boink, 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 boink. Sell. Did I not sell it? Okay. Jesus Christ. Okay, that should be good. Sorry, I'm also running some stuff to get rewards. Shit. Like you. Also, my giant Rainbow Dash plush says hello. I've got quite a few in the background. He's an MLP Grimdark reader too. I am absolutely sure I've heard the name before. It sounds very familiar. Me just being in this chat set off my stream chat moderator mode from one of my other friends' streams. Why am I like this? I don't know. But yeah, Halloween is really the one where I have to be careful with my health because it's a lot of work. I have to do my stuff always first. Then when I get the voice actor stuff, I have to do their file separately. Then I have to apply the EQ to everything. Jesus Christ. Well, actually, I apply the EQ to my stuff first because everybody's voice is different. If I put it on the same EQ, it's going to sound kind of weird for certain voices. So what I normally do is I just add the EQ to my stuff, wait until I get the voice actors' audio files. Then I will work on their files, add their EQs. Then we get to the fun mixing parts. Artwork is just not possible this year, so I had to just go still image. Which is kind of fitting because the original has a still image as well. You guys will get it. It's like someone commented on the carnivorous flower. I nearly facepalmed so hard at this comment. That it wasn't, what's the word? That it felt too dark and gloomy rather than like leading up to a surprise. And I'm like, bruh. That wasn't leading to a surprise. It was supposed to be dark and disturbing and gloomy and all over the place. Well, not all over the place, but it was meant to be disturbing and like unsettling. That's the point. The author even stated themselves, it's right on the cover art. You don't, like, what were you expecting? Especially when when the main artwork goes to full before it's even revealed what happens and who is who. I'm like, oh my god. But whatever, it is what it is. Hi, Mom. I watched some stuff too. Makes sense. People expect much more during Halloween for obvious reasons. I have to be going. Have an amazing day. Okay, see you later.
So are you live? You know I'm gonna go in there and fuck with you, right?
That's my mom for you. But I don't care. I mean, still images are what you see on many audiobooks, and it's literally what's on the cover of a book, so I don't see any difference. It's like a lot of people compare me to Lost and Scribbler. I'm like, I don't want to be Lost and Scribbler. I'm doing my own thing, okay? Yes, I take inspiration from their work. Yes. But this is my channel. I'm doing what I need to do. So I don't want to be because I don't want to be compared to somebody else. I want to be known as me. Like my channel, it went from it's straight to a not for kids channel. It's not for kids and it's not for young people at all. Especially now, because I've really turned away from just keeping it 16 plus friendly to straight up 18 plus friendly. Like, especially with this fic, good god. Some of the shit that happens in this fic, it'll make like kids cry. I'm not kidding you. Unless they're edgy and messed up in the head. Like, there's some shit in this that I'm like, what is wrong with you, brain? Then again, what's new? But considering the predecessor, you should know this was not going to be a happy story. This was not meant to be, you know, a light story at all. Because the predecessor is one of the most disturbing fics I have ever written. And here's the kicker with this. It's not even complete. I got to 25k words and I'm like, okay, we've got to cut this because otherwise this Halloween is going to be, it's going to take forever. So basically I had to go like this. I had to split it. Basically, I had to put it in 2 parts, which only part 1 is complete right now, but part 2 will be written probably within the next year. I don't know. Take care. I'm mentally 5 years old. Probably give them nightmares since you said it was on the same level as Saw. Yeah, and Texas Chainsaw Massacre and all those lovely slashers, things that will give kids nightmares. Like I'm turning one of their most beloved like cartoon characters into a killer. And I just laugh at it because I'm like, you know what? It's called fan fiction for a goddamn reason. Because it can be anything. It's like the people that always compare things and say, this isn't canon, you can't do this. I'm like, fan fiction. Read the term. BRB. Ow. Oh, pick that up. What? I'm not hungry right now. Okay. Food. I expect to see my mom in the chat before too long here. Oh, it is fucking hot in here. Is my window open at all? Yes, but the air conditioner is not on. Why? But yeah, this one, in comparison to the predecessor, this one is a lot more gory, graphic, and just fucking messed up. Like, this goes more in depth on what is mentioned in the other fic. If you guys know what my most disturbing dark fic is, you know exactly what I am talking about. And not everybody can get through that story because of what happens in chapter 2. That's okay, I've worked in worse. Okay, now that we have our lovely noise gate on all these files, we can finally move on. Now we actually get to the editing. I don't care. Okay. Why is my camera so wide? That is weird. Wow, that is weird. I don't know why, but I look like a little weird. Maybe like that. Sorry, I just noticed that. That was weird. Okay, now the fun part, editing. Oops. Can I... Oh, that's not Audacity. Okay, here we go. Say what now? Say what now? Say meow 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 meow. Sorry, I'm a dork. Okay, let's go like this. This is why I hate when updates happen, because they take away my freaking definition, my freaking dimensions. Okay, there we go. Alright, file. Import. Import, thank you. No telling how this freaking program is gonna act. We want part 1. Noise gate applied. Hopefully this goes fine and neat and dandy. I listened to Something Sweet to Bite. I think I can handle it. Yeah, if you've listened to that, you can definitely handle this. Weirdly enough, it kind of has a very similar aspect to Something Sweet to Bite in it. Like jumping between present and past. But luckily, you can actually follow mine. That was the problem with Something Sweet to Bite for me. The jumping between the past and the present was really confusing. And I think that was the main problem with the story. The freaking pacing and, you know, the time skips were really confusing to follow, and I didn't know what was happening. That was the problem. Like, I didn't know if we were in the past, or in the future, or in the present, yada yada yada. And I think that's mainly why I didn't like the story. That and the gore aspect is just way over the top. And I'm a guy that likes more natural horror. There's also something in this one that is very, it's hidden. Like, you have to think with your mind. Like with a lot of my stories. You have to think with your mind why something happens. Ugh. And this is also in, like, the theme of, like, those 80s slashers. I thought that'd be fun. I'm like, let's just go 80s slasher horror kind of stuff. Just do something different this year. Let's have some fun. Okay. Now the fun part. Working. Alright, time to go. Doing some Halloween stuff. Alright, let's take that out. So, this will be technically chapter 2, because this is the parts I'm doing. Yeah, and there's also a new aspect that I added this year. I have brought on another narrator to help me out. A narrator slash slash voice actor for this. Because I've known them for a while. Well, I've known them for a while. I've known them for a long while. But I also just know they're good at voice acting, and that also plays into the story because it's told from two different points of views. First person and third person. So, I know a lot of people aren't going to like that, but whatever. The bell for the final period of Ponyville High School rang... Okay, I remember I redid this. The bell for the final period of Ponyville High School rang loudly. Maybe.
And
Every
student sprang into immediate action, excited for the night to come.
Okay.
It was Nightmare Night, and that meant parties, candy, and vandalism. And every student of the building was ready for a night of fun and a sugar rush as potent as a high from Poison Joke.
Okay.
Among the raging wave of students was a...
Okay, take that out.
Among the raging wave of students was a Pegasus named Flora Bloom, dressed in her costume choice for that year, an elf princess. Her wings coated in glitter and ear extensions tight on her ears.
Okay, so I did have some weird sentence structuring going on, so let me just pull this back a little bit, see if this might help.
Elf princess. Her wings coated in glitter and ear extensions tight on her ears. The dress was dark green with the ends cut to look like spikes. Her curly blonde mane and emerald green eyes contrasting with it very well. It fit her so well. Her curly blonde mane and emerald
Okay, bring that back. Did I miss a mistake?
Dressed in her costume choice for that year, an elf princess. Her wings coated in glitter and ear extensions tight on her ears.
Okay, that's fine.
The dress was dark green with the ends cut to look like spikes. Her curly blonde mane and emerald green eyes contrasting with it very well. It fit her so well that she had even received some compliments from stallions that day, one of them even making an attempt to ask her to be their date to the big dance being held at Town Hall.
Okay, I remember something happened right here. Let me listen one more time.
One of them even making an attempt to ask her to be their date to the big dance being held at Town Hall.
That's fine. Pull that back. Pull this back.
Date to the big dance being held at Town Hall. One of them even making an attempt to ask her to be their date to the big dance being held at Town Hall.
Okay.
While she from stallions that day, one of them even making an attempt to ask her to be their date to the big dance being held at Town Hall. While she was flattered by the attention and compliments, she didn't plan on even going to the dance.
Okay, so I remember there was a problem here. I think the air conditioner turned on or something. Okay. What's this at?
One of them even making an attempt to ask her to be their date to the big dance being held at Town Hall. While she was flattered...
Okay. We're just gonna go with that take.
While she was flattered by the attention and compliments, she didn't plan on even going to the dance. She had other plans with a few of her friends. She had other plans with a few of her friends.
Excuse my mom coming in. Alright.
Not even going to the dance. She had other plans with a few of her friends.
Also, why is this in stereo? I just noticed that. Why is this... Oh, maybe I rendered it in stereo. That's okay, that's okay, that's okay. It's no big deal.
With a few of her friends.
Okay.
This is gonna be fun. Ay, ay, ay. Flora found...
Yeah, the reverb isn't as bad as I thought it would be. Yeah, no, some of it will actually apply. Oh, Lisa Star.
Flora found her way to her locker and opened it with ease, its usual creak meeting her ears instantly. Sticking her history and math books in the small space, she shut it tight, immediately being greeted by her company for the coming night. The first was a lovable jock named Trevor Trotsman, aka the quarterback, aka...
Oh, Jesus. Here come the puns.
aka the quarterback, aka the quarterback of...
Yeah, I rushed that way too hard.
aka the quarterback of the school's football team. While most assume jocks to be assholes, Trevor wasn't one of those cases. He was actually smart and not sleeping around with every...
That back.
Trevor wasn't one of those cases. He was actually smart and not sleeping around with every mare who complimented his looks and skills on the field. He actually had his head on his shoulders, unlike the majority of his comrades on the field. He was dressed as himself. Football practice had prevented him from dressing up in his costume, so all he had was a t-shirt peeking through his black leather jacket.
In that back.
So all he had was a t-shirt peeking through his black leather jacket that looked and was expensive as hell. Next down was a unicorn named Sarah Darkmist, the school's supposed medium. She was dressed as a...
Okay, hang on. Bring this back, about right there, I'd say. Save. Alright, so while that's saving... WIP. So that's gonna have to save real quick, but that's okay. What first got you into My Little Pony? Long story. Very long story, but to shorten it, a friend basically brought it up in a group chat once, and I kind of got interested in it. And like I looked up Rainbow Dash because Rainbow Dash was her favorite pony or something like that. And I'm trying to remember how it all went down. Yeah, it was a long story. It's a long story. But basically, I watched the show mainly, and the show is mainly what got me into it. Like, my friend brought it up, but I went searching for it, and I found, technically my first introduction was to the dark ponies. Like, I found Markiplier's playthrough of the SCP MLP mod, which had like Cupcakes, Pinkie Pie, Butterflies, Fluttershy, Rainbow Factory Dash, Muffins. No, not Muffins. Yeah, Muffins. Derpy, I believe. What else? Was Applejack in there? I don't think Applejack was in there. Oh, and Experiments of Twilight Sparkle Twilight. Oh, Cupcakes, Pinkie Pie. Duh. But it had those characters in it. And I don't know why, but seeing Rainbow Dash covered in blood for some reason was cool to me, but that wasn't like my real reason of getting interested in the, like, liking the show, or liking MLP in general. It got me interested. Then I watched the show, and I was hooked from, like, episode 1. Because when I saw Nightmare Moon, I was like, this doesn't seem like what My Little Pony Friendship is Magic implies. Like, the name does not match. So I watched the show. Season 4 finale basically made me admit I was a brony, and the rest is history. What's your favorite type of horror genre? Psychological. I love psychological horror.
Supposed medium. She was dressed as a black-clad witch, her white body blending in perfectly, and her black mane accompanying the costume like a warm hug.
Okay.
The single purple stripe in her mane peeked through from under the hat she wore, matching her violet eyes that were focused on Flora, her usual blank expression painted on her face.
Okay. Wow.
Lastly was the nerdy oddball Henry Quickwit, dressed as a...
See, it's very, very 80s slasher type because you got your stereotypes. You've got the jock, you've got the weirdo, you've got like the weird, like spiritual person, you got the nerd, and Flora would be considered like the pretty girl, basically.
On her face. Lastly was the nerdy oddball Henry Quickwit, dressed as a fangless vampire pony. Lastly was the nerdy oddball Henry Quickwit.
What happened to my voice right there? Son of a beanbag? God, I hate when that happens.
vampire pony.
Okay. Good thing it's close. Alright, right there. Boink.
Nerdy oddball, Henry Quickwit. Lastly was the nerdy oddball, Henry Quickwit.
Wait. What did I just get rid of?
Dressed as a fangless vampire pony.
Oh, I took only one sample of it out. So I need to go like that. Jesus Christ, chair.
Lastly was the nerdy oddball, Henry Quickwit. Dressed as a fangless vampire pony.
Okay.
Henry was a lot of things, but as his name states, when it comes down to certain things, he's quick to think of solutions and has yet to fail at it.
Okay.
Any other time, he's normally quiet or hiding from bullies, seeing he's teased horribly for his behaviors and
Back.
quiet or hiding from bullies, seeing he's teased horribly for his behaviors and talents. Flora came across Henry.
Okay. Lots of introduction.
And talents. Flora came across Henry while hiding from her own pair of mean mares in her sophomore year, and managed to help him come out of his shell and confront the stallions who shunned him.
Okay.
While it was a big moment for him, the school system never did shit about it, so he still takes a lot of harassment, but Flora and the others do their best to help when they can.
Okay. This is all...
Trevor line?
Yeah, this is all stuff that we don't need to worry
Trevor
about.
asked. Flora line? Flora replied excitedly.
Except for that.
Trevor line?
Like these little oopsies.
Trevor stated jovially.
Okay, that's fine. This is a line. What about this?
Sarah intervened.
Fine.
Trevor reassured.
Fine. Okay, does this go into its straight narration?
Sarah
It does. Okay, so let's bring that back a little bit.
Trevor reassured. Sarah still wasn't in agreement 100%, but she nodded anyways. Flora nodded. Flora smiled.
Flora nodded. Flora smiled.
Flora smiled at the nod, but quickly turned her gaze.
Bring that back.
Flora smiled at the nod, but quickly turned her gaze to Henry.
Okay, I don't know what that is.
Flora smiled at the shitballs. Flora smiled at the nod.
Oh, Jesus. You guys get to hear everything. Bring that back.
Flora smiled at the nod, but quickly turned her gaze to Hendry.
Hendry?
I'm gonna kill somebody. Flora smiled at the nod. Flora smiled at the nod, but quickly turned her gaze to Henry, his demeanor seeming more off than normal. She decided to comfort him in his current conflicting state. She decided to comfort him in his current conflicting state. She decided...
Okay, that's the whole thing. Got an itch.
She decided to comfort him in his current conflicting state.
Okay, that's a
Flora
line.
line.
That's nothing important.
Flora started lightly. Flora started lightly.
Oops.
Flora started lightly, the addressed pony twitching in alarm from the mention of his name. Slowly, his head rose to meet Flora's eyes, his nerves shaking like a mini earthquake.
Okay. Okay, that's a line.
Flora line?
Don't need to worry about that.
Flora assured calmly.
That's fine. What the hell is this?
Here come the notifications.
Ah, shit.
Henry line?
That's fine.
He claimed proudly.
Again, fine. What is that?
I should add more space there. Just remember that.
No, that's fine.
Well, it's recorded, so we're fine. Flora line?
Okay, that's fine.
Flora comforted.
Fine.
Trevor line?
Fine.
Trevor confessed.
Fine. Okay. I think we're going back into narration here.
Sarah line?
Sarah line.
Sarah followed. Turning back to Henry, Flora spoke her own confession.
What was this?
Henry line.
Okay, what do we got here?
He complimented, following with whoa. He
Yeah,
complimented, following with a nod from.
Yeah, that was a little loud. Following.
He complimented, following with a nod from Flora.
Okay, that's another line. There's a lot of talking right here.
Flora line.
Okay, that's
Flora
all lines.
asked Trevor.
I better actually check these.
That's a Trevor line.
That's fine.
Sarah chuckled at the comment.
Okay,
The cuss surprised no pony.
fine. Okay, what is this?
He sheepishly apologized.
Okay, that's fine. Sheepishly smiled.
Sarah accepted.
Okay, that's fine.
Every pony's eyebrows raised immediately, minus Sarah's.
Okay, bring that back because that's actually going into some narration.
Sarah accepted. Every pony's eyebrows raised immediately, minus Sarah's.
How bad of a plosive is that?
Every pony's eyebrows raised. Every pony's eye.
Nah, that's not plosive. Just sounds like one. That happens a lot.
Raised immediately, minus Sarah's.
Okay, that's fine.
Flora line. Flora questioned.
Okay, this looks like some...
Moving a small strand of her mane from her left eye,
That's fine.
Sarah responded. Flora line.
Fine. Another thing.
Flora agreed.
Yep. Okay, moving along. Okay, that's fine, that's fine, that's fine. I can always fix these later on. It's no big deal. I'm going to fix them regardless.
Oh my god, I can't fucking think. That's a Sarah line.
Okay, bring this out.
Flora line.
Okay, this looks like narration.
With a single nod. Suck a dick.
Shut
With a
the
single
fuck.
nod, Sarah. With a single nod, Sarah turned and trotted home, leaving Trevor, Flora, and Henry to chat furthermore.
Okay, that's fine.
Trevor line.
Fine.
Flora line.
Fine.
Flora confirmed, remembering Trevor's ordeal. No.
Ordeal.
Flora confirmed, remembering Trevor's ordeal.
That was a bad line. Remembering Trevor's ordeal. Is it the whole thing?
Flora confirmed.
Yeah, it is.
Flora.
Yep. Alright, next.
Trevor line.
Fine. What is
He
this?
sarcastically. I swear to God, today. It's great to record him, but it's not at the same time. He sarcastically answered.
Oh, we gotta do that one again.
He sarcastically answered.
Sorry about my fucking chair.
With that, he turned and trotted home,
Bring
leaving
this
Flora.
back.
With that, he turned and trotted home, leaving Flora and Henry in the vacant hallway.
That's fine.
Flora line.
Yep.
Flora addressed to Henry.
Fine.
Henry line.
Fine.
Henry stated, and with a single wave, Flora trotted away, and he was left alone.
Okay.
Henry line.
Okay, I think that's the
Alright,
last
pause.
line. Yep, that's the last line.
Okay.
Okay, okay, where are we starting here? Does it go into narration? No, it doesn't. Or not narration, like for Lois's part. This don't look important. What the hell was I doing? For such a long time.
Alright, pause. Okay. In fact, you know what? I'm going to actually turn on those battles so I can just get the rewards. Fuck that.
Oh, I was checking something. Okay. I can just scoop to boop 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 boop. Okay, we're just gonna go with what we know is not good. So we're just gonna go like that. Okay. Right there should be fine.
Okay.
Okay, shut that up. Alright, what is this?
A sweet aroma of apples met Flora's sense as she walked through the front door of her house, the scent being a mix of fresh apples and a caramel mix. Walking past the living room, she found her mother, Lily Bloom, at their main oven, stirring a thick concoction with a wooden spoon. Stirring a thick concoction.
I do not know why I have such a hard time with words like that.
Their main oven, stirring a thick concoction with a wooden spoon.
It's fine.
Her entrance startled her mother in her haste of properly stirring the caramel mix. A set of over 20 red apples impaled with popsicle
I remember
sticks,
this.
neatly organized on a white
Organized? What the fuck was that?
Neatly organized on a A set of over 20 red apples impaled with popsicle sticks, neatly organized on a white shifaka deck. Neatly organized on a white sheet of parchment paper just off to the side of the stovetop.
Jesus.
The essence was pungent, but
I video edits for some of the videos I make. Glasses. That kind of sounded like audio from FNAF. I don't know what audio you're referring to. It's way too early for Halloween. Also, it's my fave fanfiction guy. Treat Trick. That's really hard to say, man.
the essence was pungent but pleasing to Flora's nostrils as she breathed in the fumes emanating from the pot of caramel mix.
Okay, I was a little confused. That's on my end. Okay, that's just a line.
Lily said sweetly, but in a rush.
Okay, what is this?
That's a Flora lime.
Okay, that's fine.
Why is my phone not doing nothing?
Oh, my mom had to come in and ask me for phone issues.
That's a Flora lime.
Okay, that's fine. We can just take that out. Okay, this don't look like anything important. This looks important.
Okay, I think I said Flora lime.
No, I did not.
Flora replied sweetly.
Did I?
That's a Flora lime.
I did. Okay, pull that back.
Flora replied sweetly.
That's fine.
Lily lime.
Fine.
She confirmed, a hint of arrogance staining her tone. She confirmed,
I'll worry
a
about that
hint of
later.
arrogance staining her tone.
I'll worry about that later.
My door is not shut fully.
There's why the air's coming through.
Hang on, let me pause.
Okay, I did pause, thank God.
Where am I at? Oh God, 17 minutes already? Where's the pause button?
I think I see it right there.
So I accidentally hit the wrong button.
We don't care.
Okay, where am I? We're going to the dance night. Don't even start.
Don't even start. Chair.
Flora questioned sympathetically.
Okay, that's fine.
Her mother paused the stirring to make eye contact with her daughter, her forehead dripping sweat and her mane slightly moist. Her forehead dripping sweat and her mane slightly moist.
Think that's right.
With her daughter, her forehead dripping sweat and her mane slightly.
Okay, that was on the end.
I'm gonna murder someone here in a fucking minute. Her forehead dripping sweat and her mane slightly moist from both the heat of the room and her efforts.
What? That's fine. That's fine. That's fine. Okay, let's see here. Everything was just going wrong. Alright. Get rid of that. Pulls forward a little bit. Bring that back. Let's see if this does the trick.
Her efforts. Her forehead dripping sweat, and her mane slightly moist from both the heat of the room and her efforts. Her forehead...
Okay, I can pull that back.
Her forehead dripping sweat, and her mane slightly moist from both the heat of the room and her efforts. Lily Lime?
Okay, that's fine.
Lily placed one of her hands onto one of her daughter's shoulders.
Hands? Oops. Place one of her hands. Oopsie doopsie poopsie. Oh. I may have to re-record that. That ain't good.
Lily placed one of her hands onto one of her daughter's shoulders and expressed a smile in assurance of her emotions.
Oh, dear God. I may have to re-record that. Yeah, it's awkward. It's awkward. Okay. Her hands. So this is like in part 2. Yeah, I can do this real quick. This ain't that bad. Really? This ain't that bad. This is totally my fault. Okay. Shut the up. Jesus. See? Always have some nearby. Okay, so I have to go to Film Fiction and find that line real quick so I can get it accordingly. I did not mean to have all caps on. Oops, not that. That's the one. Whoa, 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 whoa. That would be under this. Okay, that's clear down here. She finally fixed it. Da, 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 da. This was a casual reaction, blah, 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 blah. It's before this. Whatever you say, close the bathroom, blah, 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 blah. Her forehead. Let's see. Right there. Cool. You guys get to hear me do some live recording. Cool. If that's your thing. Okay, since I completely fucked up, I guess I gotta redo this. It's okay. It's my own fault. Okay, let me just close my mouth real quick. Okay. Script. Don't even start. Lily placed one of her hands onto one of her daughter's shoulders and expressed a smile in assurance of her emotions. Seems good. Seems fine and dandy. Alright. Okay, so there's one more thing I gotta do. Oops. Control C. Noise reduction. That's correct. And Control A, Control R. Okay, I think this is it right here. Lily placed one of her hands onto one of her daughter's shoulders and expressed a smile in assurance of her emotions. Seems fine. Oops, that's not what I wanted to do. No, that is what I wanted to do. This one. It might be a little pitchy, but that's okay. Control V. Lily placed one of her hands onto one of her daughter's shoulders and expressed a smile in assurance of her emotions. That's good. That's good. Safe.
Lily line? Flora raised an eyebrow, but until she remembered the dance...
Hang on. Need to get this out of the way. Sometimes this does happen.
Flora raised an eyebrow, but until she remembered the dance... Flora raised an eyebrow up until she remembered the dance. Her mom must have assumed she...
Bring that back.
Flora raised an eyebrow up until she remembered the dance. Her mom... Flora raised an eyebrow up until she remembered the dance. Flora raised an eyebrow up until she remembered the dance.
That's fine.
Her mom must have assumed she was just going there tonight with Trevor as a date.
Okay.
No. Her mom must have assumed she was just going there tonight with Trevor. Her mom must have assumed she was just going there tonight with Trevor as her date. She just giggled at her mom's assumption.
Shep. No. No. Okay.
Assumed she was just going there tonight with Trevor as her date. She just giggled at her mom's assumption.
Okay, I gotta go to the bathroom real quick.
I'm gonna murder my fucking chair here in a minute.
Jesus, it's hot in here. Okay, much better. Maybe that's not a good idea to do that. I can tell you find Dashie best pony too. Yeah, she's my favorite. Fluttershy is somewhat okay, and I meant what I said. Okay. Laugh my ass off. I'm the only one watching the stream while playing some Pokemon Cafe on my iPhone. Cool. Need to get me that event flurry on that ends in 2 days. Interesting.
I'm gonna murder my fucking chair here in a minute.
Okay, what part?
She just giggled at her mom's assumption.
I didn't hear anything.
She just giggled at her mom's...
Yes I did. You know, that probably wouldn't be a big deal. But we'll do it anyway.
She just giggled at her mom's assumption. Lily line?
That's fine, blah 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 blah, those are fine.
Flora nodded in response and turned towards the direction of one of the bathrooms while her mother returned to her own prepping.
Fine.
The closest bathroom was just outside of the kitchen and down a hall to the right. Flora made her way in seconds, closing the door behind her and turning on the light.
Fine.
Her reflection in the large mirror met her eyes, to which she just admired for a brief moment. She could see exactly why Stellians had been all over her today. She looked stunning in her Nightmare Night attire, like an actual princess. Now she was slightly happy she wasn't going to the dance. She practically...
Bring that back.
Now she was slightly happy she wasn't going to the dance. She'd practically be a beacon. She'd practically
That back.
She'd practically be a beacon for every dateless stallion there, and she wasn't interested in any funny business. Less to say, provoking poltergeist wasn't any more comforting or seeming like a better alternative. She had heard the tales. While some say it was just a myth meant to scare ponies, she had a hard time believing that such a detailed and graphic story told in a vivid manner could be just a myth. I'm recording, right? I better make sure of that.
Yes, you
I
are
am,
recording.
okay.
Yes, you are recording.
Just a myth. Normally, fictional scary stories weren't as graphic as this one and detailed so well to the point of feeling real. They were normally just told in a manner meant to scare you. The tale of Bittersweet Apple Acres and the Apple Family Massacre was far from that, and disturbed her to the point of nearly crying.
Okay.
That wasn't a casual reaction to a fictional tale, but she couldn't prove anything factual or fictional. The foundation was said to be the site of an old apple orchard that died off from some sort of toxic blight that had to be terminated because it spread across... Jesus.
Yeah.
That had to be terminated because of its spreading to crops outside of toxic blight that had to...
Okay, this is gonna be kind of tricky. Toxic blight?
Blight that had... Blight.
Right there. Back.
Blight that had to be terminated because of its spreading to crops outside the area. The area was quarantined, and the trees were ripped out. The area was quarantined, and the tree.
Okay, I think I got on the third take. I can't remember where it was. It's right here, right? Yep.
The area was quarantined, and the trees were ripped out from their roots to assure they couldn't spread any further past the area. Many lives were lost in the process, but eventually the area was cleared of any of the toxic trees. However, to be safe, the area was gated off as a toxic site and has been left to suffer whatever history throws at it.
Okay.
However, one thing didn't add up. There was one other factor that...
Bring that back.
However, one thing history throws at it. However, one thing didn't add up. There was one other factor that made the tale seem even more real, and it lived right in town. The supposed only survivor of that tragic massacre, Crimson Flash. He was an elderly pony now. While he was an elderly pony now, Laura found it strange that an old...
Bring that back.
While he was an elderly pony now, Laura found it strange that an old pony would spit nonsense to ponies that was so powerful, graphic, and disturbing. Plus, he had evidence to prove his claims. The scars he carries on his skin.
Okay. Bring that back. Let's see if this does a trick.
Skin. How he tells of how he got them is far from just off the top of the head brainstorming. He also cried while describing the agonizing pain and torture, which, unless he was a solid actor, wasn't a casual action in telling a fictional story. Flora hoped to get closure tonight. While she was scared, she was excited at the same time as she began to apply the fixes needed for her makeup. She wanted to look her best for the ponies who caught eye of her in the streets. She planned to hit
Okay, bring this back.
eye of her in the streets. She planned to hit one specific area that gave out large candy bars, soda pop, and even some harmless potions that had specific qualities to each of them. One year she got one that changed her eye color for only an hour. Another year she got another that gave her harmless fangs until morning came, causing her to make her
Back.
Another year she got another that gave her harmless fangs until morning came, causing her to make her costume change hastily. Causing her to make a costume change
Histily?
Causing her to make a costume change hastily, and the year before she had gotten one allowed.
That back.
Causing her to make a costume change hastily, and the year before she had gotten one allowed. And the year before she had gotten one that allowed her to fly a little faster than her usual speed.
Okay, bring that back. Double rainboom. If you've seen the animation, you know the reference.
Another that gave her harmless fangs until morning came, causing her to make a costume change hastily. And the year before, she had gotten one that allowed her to fly a little faster than her usual speed. It was the one treat she anticipated It was the one treat she anticipated each year ever since the owner of the house.
Back.
It was the one treat she anticipated each year ever since the owner of the house, a zebra named Xena, moved in.
Hang on.
It was the one treat she anticipated each year ever since the owner of the house, a zebra named Xena, moved in.
Okay.
Her personal...
I may fix that later on, because that kind of sounds off.
A zebra...
In fact, let me just fix that now. Grab that. There needs to be a little bit more space right there.
The owner of the house, a zebra named Xena, moved in.
That's better.
Her personal favorite effect had been the fake fangs. That nightmare night she had won best costume and came home with a load of... That nightmare night she had won best costume and came home with a load of candy that was the...
Bring that back.
That nightmare night she had won best costume and came home with a load of candy that was the equivalent of a dragon's hoard. The next dentist visit wasn't pleasant, but she had zero regrets on the sugar rush she'd earned from that year. When she finally finished up the fixes to her additional touches, an hour had passed, and Celestia's sun had only been inches from disappearing beyond the distant mountains.
Okay.
I don't think it should be Celestia's sun. It should be Blair's.
Whatever. It is what it is. Because we don't know who Princess Fleur is yet. That's a problem.
Disappearing beyond the distant mountains. And the sun had only been inches from disappearing beyond the distant mountains.
Oh, I fixed it. So I guess I'll just do that.
And the sun had only been inches from disappearing beyond the distant mountains.
Okay.
Her mother had finished her contribution to the holiday. The apples now doused in hardened caramel upon the countertop.
That's fine. What did I take a big break for?
The apples now doused in hardened caramel upon the countertop.
Whatever. Whatever works.
The apples now doused in hardened caramel upon the countertop.
Okay, need to save. Ow. I do see the things coming in, guys, the comments, but I'm in focus mode right now. I haven't been here in a while, so yeah, how are you? And yes, I have seen Double Rainbow. I've been doing good. Been taking it very slow. And yeah, just been doing good. Okay. Oh my god!
The apples now doused in hardened caramel upon the countertop. Lily was resting on the couch in the living room, engaged in a rerun of one of the many classic horror films that aired every nightmare night. A large bottle of red wine rested on the side table next to a glass, the cork yet to be pulled from the opening.
Okay.
Floraline?
There'll be more on that in part 2. The reason why that's happening. Okay, we can just fix these later on. It's no big deal.
Flora walked around to where she was face to face with her mother, reaching down and hugging her gently.
Okay.
She stated calmly.
Okay, I can pull these together though. A little closer.
Floraline? Pulling away, Flora grabbed her provided candy bag, walked to the door, and walked out to the sight of a very festive Ponyville. Flora and walked out to the sight of a very festive Ponyville.
Okay.
Nightmare Night music blared throughout the small town. Nightmare Night music blared throughout the small town. Billies and Colts.
Okay.
Nightmare night music blared throughout the small town. Billies and cults dressed as a plethora of mythological creatures and much more ran through the streets like stampeding bulls, and the sounds of games and cheers could be heard from the other side of town.
Okay, that was a long flipping sentence.
Flora closed the door behind her. Flora closed the door behind her, proceeding to check her bag for the things she'd promised to bring to the ritual.
Okay.
Proceeding to check her bag. Flora closed the door behind her, proceeding to check her bag for the things she'd promised to bring to the ritual. Promised to bring to the ritual.
Oh, that's what's in there. I don't know where it's starting. Oh, proceeding. Okay, so I have to go back to the entire thing. It's like right there.
Proceeding to check her bag for the thing she'd promised to bring to the ritual. The sheathed knife and crimson apple were still resting at the bottom of the bag as she'd left them, and with that assurance, she trotted off into the streets.
Okay.
She had planned to meet up with Henry just outside of Ponyville Center. The shy pony being...
Okay. Sparrow, what's your favorite Rainbow Dash song? Mine is Leaving... What? Mine is Leaving Colors recently. It's so beautiful and inspirational. I've never even heard of that one. There's not very many Rainbow Dash There's not very many Rainbow Dash songs to go by. Are you talking like show-based or fandom-based or both? Because I think I know what it is. Just because it's a really inspirational song. Also, Tetrahedron Dash, or not, oh my god, Caroline, you don't want, if you're like not even, like I would say 17 or older, you don't want Discord. Discord is a very not place for kids. Or teens, for that matter.
Center. The shy pony being her usual company while trick-or-treating each year. And it didn't take long for her to find him in their usual rendezvous every year, the right side of the entry to the main plaza of Ponyville.
Plaza, whatever.
He was camouflaged.
God damn.
The shy.
God, I swear to God. Did I push it again? Okay. Let's not hit the home button this time, stupid. Excuse me. Okay, that's the delete button.
He was camouflaged very well with the growing shadows of the approaching nighttime, the light brown fur of his head being the only indication that he wasn't just another shadow cloaking the fence. Flora waved as she approached him, receiving a wave back as confirmation that he'd spotted her amongst the mildly crowded streets.
Okay.
As she approached, the first thing she noticed was that his crowded streets. As she approached, the first thing she noticed was that his costume quality had changed drastically. The fangs having a tint of dark crimson to them.
Back.
The fangs having a tint of dark crimson to them, red contacts adorning his eyes, and even his fake wings looking as if they had aged to the point of looking tarnished. But they
Okay.
But they adorned the costume almost too well. Less to say, Flora was impressed and slightly terrified. Nope. Less to say, Flora was impressed. Less to say, Flora was impressed and slightly terrified.
Okay. That's...
Flora...
There's a lot of talking right here.
Flora complimented, a wide smile growing on her face.
Okay, what is this?
Henry expressed a blush
Oh, shit.
on her face. Henry expressed a blush.
Nope, too close. Let's see if that works a little better.
Wide smile growing on her face. Henry expressed a blush at the comment.
Better. Okay. What is this?
Where am I? There we are. Flora's amazed. He explained. Flora's amazed expression didn't change, and she only continued to stare at Henry's costume. Henry Lime?
Okay, fine.
He bumbled out, trying to change the subject.
Fine.
Flora budged, a smile and light blush meeting her face. Flora, he bumbled out.
Okay, that's fine.
Flora Lime? Henry Lime? Flora Lime?
No.
Flora's smile grew wider, following with an action.
In that back.
Wider, following with an action Henry hadn't
That seems a little too quick.
grew wider, following with an action Henry hadn't expected. She leaned forward and wrapped her hooves around Henry tightly. She leaned
In that back.
She leaned forward and wrapped her hooves around Henry tightly. He jumped at the contact, but returned it, his blush growing more visible on his face with each second passing in the embrace. Their embrace lasted shortly before Flora pulled away, her eyes immediately noticing the blush dressed on her friend's face. She leaned, her eyes immediately noticing the blush dressed on her friend's face.
Okay.
Flora Lime? She said cutely.
That's fine. What's this?
Henry jumped again.
Oh, I can pull this back then.
Said cutely. Henry jumped again.
Nope. Way too close. Pull that forward a little bit, bring this out.
She said cutely. Henry jumped again, panicking madly.
Okay.
Henry Lime?
Really?
He was cut off by a hoof to his muzzle. The only sound, aside from the many sounds of Nightmare Night festivities, was Flora's laugh. Henry didn't know what to think about that, but the fact that it was just a cute laugh rather than a mocking laughter was enough for him to calm down.
Okay.
When Flora finally came out of her short fit, she just continued to smile.
Back.
When Flora finally came out of her short fit, she just continued to smile.
Okay, that's a floor line.
Flora, she said softly, grabbing one of Henry's. Oh my god.
Oh my god.
She said softly, grabbing one of Henry's hooves and starting to drag him. Henry Lime?
Okay, that's fine.
With that assurance, the two took off towards the far side of Ponyville. One spirits high with excitement, while the other's was more lost and unsure. While Flora had treated it as a harmless and funny misconception, Henry prayed to Henry prayed to Celestia above that the night Henry prayed to Celestia
There's gonna be a lot of misconceptions with that.
Henry prayed to
Okay, it's here.
Henry prayed to Celestia above that as the night carried on, all memory of what had just happened would fade away like a lost memory from Flora's mind.
Okay. Here's a pause.
Pause.
Okay.
Another drink.
Okay. Get this. Hold this forward a little bit. Ship fodder. Well, it can't be like an 80s slasher without some romance, right?
It seemed like the treasures obtained from each. No. It seemed like the treasures obtained from each.
Bring that back.
It seemed like the treasures obtained from each house.
Actually, let me save real quick. There we go.
It seemed like the treasures obtained from each house had gotten more and more valuable to Flora after the sun went down, and night finally came. But the one she treasured the most was her mystery potion she'd gotten from Xena. But the one she treasured the most was her fucking hell. But the one she...
Yeah, my chair was the worst.
But the one she treasured the most was her mystery potion she'd gotten from Xena. 3 hours of hardcore trick... Fuck. 3 hours of hardcore trick-or-treating had passed.
Bring that back.
3 hours of hardcore trick-or-treating had passed, and at this point, she and Henry were both exhausted from walking the streets of Ponyville.
Not that big of a space.
And at this point, she and Henry were...
We gotta cut. See if that works.
Passed, and at this point, she and Henry were both exhausted from walking the streets of Ponyville. They had stopped and were looking through their obtained treasures from their fellow pony residents, trading candies for other candies and slowly gaining a massive sugar rush.
Back.
Trading candies for other candies and slowly gaining a massive sugar rush. Flora had traded candies she couldn't stand, such as...
Okay, bring that back. Okay, first cut that. Bring this back.
Sugar rush. Flora had traded candies she couldn't stand, such as lemon spheres, black licorice, and anything with dark chocolate involved, to Henry for anything sweet to her liking.
Sorry.
Henry wasn't a sugar freak by any means, so he didn't mind giving some of his candy to Flora, knowing she loved sweets and would actually eat them. He'd taken his time with some of his goodies, while Flora had delved into her treasure like a mad pony craving a sugar high, to which Henry had only giggled at, knowing his friend very well. That also meant he had to be the voice of reason to stop her from giving herself a nasty bellyache, stopping her at her 20th sweet treat, and persuading her to save it for another time. While she pouted at it, Henry convinced her, and now for a good half hour, the two had
Back.
it for another time.
Ah, shit.
Her to save it for another time. While she pouted at it, Henry convinced her, and now for a good half hour, the two had just been walking around and enjoying the night on its own. Oh my god, could you be quiet?
Oh, man. Yeah, my chair was not being nice to me.
And now for a good half hour.
And now for a good half hour. It's annoying when you're recording, but God is it hilarious in the aftermath.
And now for a good half hour, the two of them had just been walking around. The two of them had just been walking around and enjoying the night on its own. The two of them had just been walking around and enjoying the night on its own.
Okay.
They decided against the local spook alley because both of them
Back.
walking around and enjoying the night. Walking around.
That does not sound right when it starts. Ucking around, ucking around, ucking around. That sounds like something totally different. No. Sparrow. No. No. Someone get the horny bat and doom doom doom.
Walking around and enjoying the night on its own. They decided against the local spook alley because both of them absolutely...
If you can't tell, I based Henry a lot off of myself. Henry was a lot like me because I don't like sweets very much. I have glasses. I'm kind of a nerd. I'm very shy, especially around girls. What else? What is that's coming up? Oh yeah, I'm also the voice of reason in certain cases. Yeah, I based Henry a lot off of me. Like, a lot off of me. Like, hopeless romantic and everything. Can I please?
Walking around and enjoying the night on its own. They decided against the local spook alley because
don't like
both of
spook
them
alleys.
absolutely hated haunted attractions. It wasn't due to a bad experience or anything like that. They simply just hated the idea of being in a dark and scary place that is intentionally designed to scare the hell out of you. It wasn't their definition of a good or fun time, and just preferred walking around until they needed to take a break again.
That's me. Like, okay, I may be a guy who writes horror stories, but that doesn't mean I like getting scared. I hate spook alleys.
Flora pouted. Henry Lime?
Okay, we can just skip all this.
Henry stated.
Yeah, we can just skip all that.
Flora giggled.
Is this anything important?
Flora put a hoof to her chin in thought at Henry's comment. Oh my god.
Is that redone?
Where am I?
I don't know, where are you?
Flora put a hoof to her chin in thought at Henry's comment.
That's fine.
Flora Lime? Flora? She answered.
Fine.
A pause followed, up until Henry decided to change the subject to something less scary. Flora replied, one eyebrow raised. Flora replied. Once again, Flora paused, putting a free hoof to her chin in wonder at Henry's my god. Putting a free hoof to her chin in wonder of Henry's comment. It wasn't really something she thought of from the moment it was announced to occur.
That's it.
Putting a free hoof to her chin in wonder of Henry's comment. It wasn't really something she thought of from the moment it was announced to occur a few weeks prior, but Henry had a good point. Was the blood moon an actual real thing or just an illusion? And if it is real, what does it look like or represent? What does it look like or represent? That would be...
Back.
And if it is real, what does it look like or represent?
Much better.
That would be... Forgot her name.
Oh. Yeah, I was having a few brain farts.
A short pause followed.
That's fine.
Flora Lime? Henry Lime?
Just looking for the big boys.
Flora Lime? Long Flora Lime. You all are a bunch of fools if you believe the past can be buried so easily.
Yeah, I did do some voice
The
acting in
events
this.
of those 10 years will never rest. They will only linger until some pony learns and speaks the truth, similar to how one apple did in the face of death.
Shut up! I stopped it, you shitbag!
They will only linger until some pony learns and speaks the truth, similar to how one apple did in the face of death. How will that end, Doctor? Improper action or history repeating? Let's hope we make the right choice this time. Henry Lime?
Okay, that's fine.
Henry asked with a mild shiver. The moment was interrupted by an announcement from the many speakers throughout Ponyville, causing both of them to stop in their tracks. The mayor's voice boomed from the speakers, coming through loud and clear to every pony's eardrums.
And no, it's not Mare. It's just me making, like, a, I don't know, voice. I don't think... Was there a mistake in this?
Attention all residents of Ponyville. The moon... No. Attention all residents of Ponyville.
The moon is rising.
Attention all residents of Ponyville. The Blood Moon celebration event will be starting in less than 20 minutes. If you plan to join in on the event, please make your way to the main stage in front of Town Hall for Princess Flair's speech and presentation. Thank you. Thank you. Flora.
Bring that back. Back a little bit. What's this?
Flora Lime. Flora said, turning her gaze to meet Henry's. A long breath escaped the stallion's mouth.
Back. I think I remember I had trouble with this line.
A long breath escaped the stallion's mouth, attempting to smile at the sudden. A long breath escaped the stallion's mouth, attempting to smile at.
Back.
A long breath escaped the stallion's mouth.
Is that a cuss?
Attempting to smile at the sudden realization that they were less than 20 minutes from attempting to talk.
It's the chair again. It's the chair again.
Attempting to smile at the sudden realization.
Nope.
A long breath escaped the stallion's mouth, attempting to smile at the sudden realization.
Okay, bring that back.
Long breath escaped the stallion's mouth, attempting to smile at the sudden realization that they were less than 20 minutes from attempting to talk to a bunch of serial killers from beyond the grave.
Yikes.
Swallowing hard, he nodded in agreement.
Okay, that's fine.
Flora Lime? Henry muttered out, fear clearly staining his tone as he started to walk alongside Flora outside of Ponyville, up the outer side road that led to the foundation that once was Bittersweet Apple. No. Up the outer side road. Up the outer side road that led to the foundation that was once Sweet Apple Acres.
Yeah, not Bittersweet Apple Acres.
The walk was calm and quiet, while the awareness of what was about to occur made all of the natural calming essence of the night static. The road to the Sweet Apple Acres. The road to the Sweet Apple Acres.
Back.
The road to the Sweet Apple Acres foundation was decrepit and rotten, abandoned, forgotten, and rotten. No. Abandoned, forgotten, and rotted away from years of no care or maintenance.
Back.
Abandoned, forgotten, and rotted away from years of no care or maintenance. While a tricky walk, the sight of the rusted fence came into sight.
Back.
While a tricky walk, the sight of the rusted fence came into sight, sending an immediate chill down both of their spines. It was a very unsettling sight to the eye, seeming less like a fence guarding the perimeter of a foundation and more like an entryway to hell. Both of them gulped hard. Walking further up until the tall.
I can't tell if that's on that audio or my audio.
Both of them gulped hard, walking further up until the tall fence towered over them like the maw of a massive beast. Walking further up until the tall fence towered over them like the maw of a massive beast. It was starting to feel more like Nightmare Night. Now as they drew in closer to the area that they were.
Back.
It was starting to feel more like Nightmare Night now as they drew in closer to the area that they were supposed to meet up with the others. Relief washed over both of them at the sound of voices and flashes of beams of light from flashlights, trotting faster than intended towards the source of light and life. When they finally reached the rendezvous, Trevor greeted them with a joyous Nightmare Night style welcome. Trevor Lime?
Okay, that's fine.
Flora answered, turning her gaze to Sarah, a specific object held in one of her hooves.
Okay.
Flora Lime?
Funny.
Sarah met Flora's gaze quickly, answering in her usual tone of voice. Sarah Lime? She answered simply. Flora Lime?
Ow.
Flora objected in shock. Sarah reassured calmly.
Okay.
Flora wasn't sure what to think, standing frozen in place with confusion expressed on her face.
Okay, that's all talking lines.
Henry's contribution to the conversation caused Sarah's eyes to shift to him, immediately smiling deviously.
Okay.
Sarah Lime.
Ow.
Trevor caught on, adding his own thoughts to the mix. Trevor caught on, adding his own thoughts to the mix.
Back. Shut up.
Trevor caught on, adding his own thoughts to the mix.
Okay, we can just skip
Trevor
past
Lime.
that.
Henry just smiled at the compliments, bowing like a vampire as a bonus to further prove he appreciated the gestures. Henry Lime, bowing like a vampire as a bonus to further prove he appreciated the gestures. Henry Lime. Trevor stated, lightly punching Henry on the shoulder with one of his green hooves as a show of affection.
Tough reference.
Trevor was dressed as Frankenhoof, the costume and character actually being perfect for his size and build, to which Flora had nodded at in impression, resting away the residing butterflies in her stomach momentarily.
Okay.
Resting away the residing butterflies in her stomach momentarily.
Okay, that's fine.
Resting away the residing butterflies in her stomach momentarily.
Okay, just skip those.
Flora immediately blushed in embarrassment, immediately objecting at the comment.
Back.
Immediately objecting at the blushed in embarrassment, immediately objecting at the comment.
Okay.
Trevor suddenly intervened to avoid any further issues from occurring. Trevor Lime. Flora hesitated at Trevor's words.
Bring that back.
Flora hesitated at Trevor's words, but eventually she accepted them.
Yes, her name is Flora.
Flora Lime. Sarah acted first.
Okay.
Sarah Lime. Flora nodded with a smile, taking Sarah into a short but sincere hug of forgiveness.
Okay, that's
Trevor
fine.
Lime. Every pony nodded, Sarah flicking her medicinal
Oh yeah, I had a hard time with this.
Every pony nodded, Sarah flicking her medicinal Every pony nodded, Sarah flicking her medicinal concoction off. No. Not concoction. Every pony nodded, Sarah flicking her medicinal concoction off into the night, and all four of them walking toward the fence. No!
Oh, I was so mad.
Every pony nodded, Sarah flicking. Every pony nodded, Sarah.
Ooh, that might be a bad plosive.
Every pony nodded.
It is. It's a bad one. You get that out of there. So something different. Yep, that's the one.
Every pony nodded.
Better.
Sarah flicking her medicinal concoction off into the night, and all four of them walking towards the fence. The only way in was a weaker part of the fence that had been weakened by history, and was loose enough to crawl through. Being a Pegasus, Flora could normally fly over, but a spell shield was applied so that Pegasi couldn't just fly in, so she had to just go in the hard way.
That's what she said.
The same applied to teleportation with unicorns as well, the only exception being the had to just go in the hard way. The same applied to teleportation with unicorns as well, the only exception being the one who cast it, seeing the spell would weaken with time and would have to be recharged back to full strength for another number of years. Sarah held the fence with her magic while the other three crawled through carefully, then assisted in pulling Sarah through with her then assisted in pulling Sarah through with their combined efforts. It took about 5 minutes, but they were all in, standing upon a land that was stained with the blood of countless ponies. Standing upon a land that was stained with the blood of countless ponies. It took about 5 minutes, but they were all in, standing upon a land that was stained with the blood of countless ponies.
I can't see. We should have enough room.
But they were all in, standing upon a land that was stained with the blood of countless ponies. Upon entering, something immediately caught their attention. It was dead. There was no sound except their own breathing, steps, and pulses in the white enclosure. Already, they were having second thoughts on even continuing a step forward into this ominous place. Floraline?
Hang on.
Floria. There was no sound except their own breathing, steps, and pulses in the white enclosure.
That's gotta be recorded. That is ugly. Okay. So I gotta find that line. It's no big deal. It was dead. So that's towards the end. Whoa. Everything else is there was no sound upon the breathing when enclosure. Think this is it? Yep, that's it. Okay. Alright, record. Okay. Water. Okay, so I have to talk like dark voiced Sparrow. Okay. There was no sound except their own breathing, steps, and pulses in the wide enclosure. Alright, good. Yeah, I can just Control R. Cool. Control C. Control V. Need to lower. Who was racing outside my window?
Immediately caught their attention. It was dead.
There was no sound except their own breathing, steps, and pulses in the wide enclosure.
Immediately caught.
Okay, I hear something wrong already. It's a little too loud. There was no sound except their own breathing, steps, and pulses in the wide enclosure.
Attention. It was dead.
There was no sound except their own breathing, steps, and pulses in the wide enclosure.
Already, they were having second thoughts on even continuing a step forward into this ominous place. Floraline? Flora asked, her voice trembling. Every pony else, faces plastered.
Hang on. There was no sound except their own breathing, steps, and pulses in the wide enclosure.
Already, they were having second thoughts on even continuing a step forward into this ominous place.
I can always do a noise kit if I need
Floraline?
to.
Flora asked. Every pony else, faces plastered with uncertainty and fear, nodded slowly. Sarah stated with a hint of fear. Sarah stated with a hint of fear. God damn it. Sarah stated with a hint of fear. I think I got it.
I think I did too.
Sarah stated with a hint of fear.
I did.
I think I got it. Trevor Line.
Okay, just get that out.
Sarah stated with a hint of fear.
Yep, we got her. Okay, just bring that back to kind of make it look more even. Okay, pull this forward.
Henry agreed, his legs shaking sporadically. Trevor sighed in defeat, turning back toward the fence. Turning back toward the fence. God damn it! Turning back toward the fence. Turning back toward the fence. Trevor Lime? Turning. Walking back to the fence.
Hang on, before I do anything else, save.
Walking back to the fence, Sarah focused her magic on the weak spot they'd originally come in from, only to receive zero response from her magic core. A discovery that made her shudder and freeze in horror. Sarah Line? She tremored. Trevor asked in concern. Sarah panicked, her voice expressing true fear. Trevor questioned in confusion. Trevor had no retort, knowing Sarah well enough to know for a fact she was being serious. Moving past Sarah, Trevor reached down toward the bottom of the fence and placed his hooves into a position to where he could lift the fence. But upon first contact with the rusted metal, Trevor was met with a Trevor was met with an agonizing pain to his hooves. Trevor was met with an agonizing pain to his hooves. A scream of pain escaped the stallion's throat, scrambling back on the ground in a hasty retreat from the fence. A very audible sizzle could be heard, and upon the sight of Trevor's hooves, the situation escalated quickly. Flora questioned in concern, rushing to Trevor's aid on the brittle ground. Flora questioned further, her calm composure starting to dwindle away fast. Trevor Lime? Sarah's voice broke the chaos. Sarah's voice broke the chaos. The tone of it being no more than a whisper of a terrified child. And as they all saw what she was so scared of, their own voices died, and their blood grew as cold as ice. Before their eyes, fading in like a transition effect, was the sight of a large farm, one lone pony on the outside wearing a grin from ear to ear. Flora commanded, moving to the fence in a haste and attempting to lift it, only to meet the same result as Trevor, falling back and attempting to lift it, only to meet the same result as Trevor, falling back and screaming, only to meet the same result as Trevor, falling back and screaming in absolute pain. Her screams continued up until the entire, only to meet the same result as Trevor, falling back and screaming in absolute pain. Her screams continued. Pain.
I swear to God. Could anybody have been any noisier?
Laura commanded, moving to the fence in a haste and attempting to lift it, only to meet the...
Okay, I guess I'm gonna have to do that line again, too. Thanks, Mom. Thanks, Dad. Let's see here. That's okay, it's not that bad. Scream pain audible. Do soon. You got air mount. There it is. That's the one. Okay. Start recording. I need to take a drink. Okay. And we're Gravelly Sparrow, right? Yeah. Flora commanded, moving to the fence in a haste and attempting to lift it, only to meet in the same result as Trevor, falling back and screaming in absolute pain. Beautiful. Wow, not one fuck up. That is actually hard to believe. Controller. Wait a minute. Wait, what am I got on repeat? Oh, okay, it is the right effect. Flora commanded, moving to the fence in a haste and attempting to lift it, only to meet in the same result as Trevor, falling back and screaming in absolute pain. Okay, Control C. Control V. Flora commanded. Ouch. Control R. Loreline. Flora commanded, moving to the fence in a haste and attempting to lift it, only to meet in the same result as Trevor, falling back and screaming in absolute pain. Her screams continued up until the entire area and beyond turned a bloody red color. One gaze at the moon solidified the cause of the crimson tint, but that was the least of their worries, as a deafening ring enveloped their ears, along with a massive rush of what felt like misery and chaos in one blow. It felt as if their heads were One gaze at the moon solidified the cause of the crimson tint, but that was the least of their worries, as a deafening ring enveloped their ears, along with a massive rush of what felt like misery and chaos in one blow. It felt as if their heads were imploding on themselves, and the pressure was unbelievable, feeling like their skulls were tightening in a vice grip with no breaking point. Feeling like their skulls were in a tightening vice grip with no breaking point. It was like everything was in feeling like their skulls were in a tightening vice grip with no breaking point. It was like everything was in slow motion. Feeling like their skulls were in a tightening vice grip with no breaking point. It was like everything was in slow motion, up until it all just stopped. Up until it all... Today. Up until it all just stopped. It's in slow motion. Up until it all just stopped. I feel like there needs to be a pause there for like dramatic effect. It's like right there. It was in slow motion up until it all just stopped. A new sound had filled the void of deafening ringing. A new sound had filled the void of deafening ringing. No. A new sound had filled the void of deafening ringing. Water dripping. I was about ready to kill someone. A new sound had filled the void of deafening ringing, water dripping, and distant creaking pipes. Opening their eyes, they were met with the sight of a large and wide room. Oh
My God. Opening their eyes, they were met with the sight of a large... Opening their eyes, they were met with the sight of a large and wide room. It was wooden, decrepit, and smelled of rot and copper. It wasn't until they looked around the room that they figured out the horrifying realization. It wasn't until they looked around the room that they figured... It wasn't until they looked around the room that they figured out the horrifying realization of where they were, and their terror peaked to max. Just off to the side was a massive rusted machine with a Just off to the side was a massive rusted machine with a Just off to the side was a massive rusted machine with a single opening at the top of a high flight of stairs. From down that, it had a channel of 2 pipes. One large, one small. One large, one small. The small one leading to just above a conveyor.
I was about ready to kill someone if they didn't go in or out.
One large, one small. The small one leading to just above a conveyor. The small one leading to just above a conveyor belt with thin tubes pointing downward, as if to fill something on the belt line. The exit tubes' tips were all coated with something thick and chocolate brown, and only until the color became apparent did it hit all 4 of them on exactly what place they had ended up in. Floraline? Flora whispered in fear, her eyes not leaving the massive machine. Trevor's voice intervened, speaking something she almost didn't believe. 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 Trevor's voice intervened, speaking something she almost didn't believe. Trevorline? He was right. No. He was right. Just off to the side of the room. He was right. Just off to the side of the room was a large barn door exit, to which they all quickly acted upon, moving to the door and attempting to push it open. It didn't budge an inch, even with all of their strengths combined. Their actions had caused a sudden reaction, the grinder suddenly erupting to life like a waking giant. Following that, the grinder suddenly erupting to life like a waking giant. Following that, a sinister laughter met the room, echoing off of every wall and crevice in a manner of unease and absolute danger. The instant response was to run, but the only way to run was to a door straight ahead, the very area the laughter had originated from. Sarah Lime? Sarah questioned in fright. Sarah questioned in fright. Before an answer could be given, the far door
You son of a bitch.
A grinder. Sarah questioned in fright. Sarah questioned in fright.
Did I push it again? Better not have.
Fright. Before an answer could be given, the far door swung open with a massive force, entering a sight that seemed impossible. A headless pony with tan fur that wore specks of dry blood with a lasso. A headless pony with tan fur that wore specks of dry blood with a lasso around their half neck. They had a blonde tail with part of it tied up at the end with a hair tie and a cutie mark that made all 4 of their hearts drop like and a cutie mark that made all 4 of their hearts drop
Okay, maybe not that much space.
Hair tie, and a cutie mark that made all four of their hearts hair tie, and a cutie mark that made all four of their hearts drop like stones. 3 red apples. Applejack line.
Okay.
The headless pony spoke in a thick southern accent.
Okay.
The headless pony spoke in a thick southern accent.
No, we are not keeping that.
No pony spoke, too shocked in fear and terror to even find words. They didn't know what was to come, but in the company of a headless pony, it was bound to be. But in the company of a headless pony, it was bound to be nothing pleasant. Applejack line.
Okay, let me double check this is right.
To come, but in the company of a headless pony.
Yep, that's fine.
That comment made all four of them freeze in fear, unable to move from their current positions.
Okay, that's fine.
What just happened? 1 hour ago, they were all in Ponyville
Back.
positions. What just happened? 1 hour ago.
Let me listen to that line one more time.
Unable to move from their current positions. What? That comment made all four of them freeze in fear, unable to move from their current positions. What just happened? 1 hour ago, they were all. What just happened? 1 hour ago, they were all in Ponyville enjoying the festival. Now, they were in some demented hell fighting for their lives. It was too late to turn back now. It was live or be tortured for eternity now. 1 night of survival in a slaughterhouse controlled by a demented serial killer. Applejack line. The headless mare stated grimly. Then the room started to shift and convert into something else. The headless mare's sinister laughter erupting once again from her non-existent muzzle. Then the room started to shift and convert into something else. The headless mare's sinister laughter erupting once again from her non-existent muzzle. A mirage of
I am gonna kill someone if they don't stop freaking running in and out of that house.
The headless mare's sinister laughter erupting once again from her non-existent muzzle. Then the room started to shift and convert into something else. The headless mare's sinister laughter erupting once again from her non-existent muzzle.
Oh, I swear to God. Annoying. But whatever. Okay. I should have found the line first, but that's okay. Answer could be given. Tough crowd, I see. What happened? 1 hour ago. Grimly. Then the room started shifting over into something else. The headless mare's sinister laughter. The headless mare's sinister laughter erupting once again from her non-existent muzzle. I feel like that's too flat. Let's see what happens. The headless mare's sinister laughter erupting once again from her non-existent muzzle. Let's see how it mixes. Control-C. I can always add another noise gate if I need to. It's no big deal. The headless mare's sinister laughter
Into something else.
The headless mare's sinister... No. I'm gonna have to do that whole line for it to sound right. Okay. Let's see here. I need water to clear my throat. Did I push record? I did. Okay. Push this down. The headless mayor. Fuck! The headless mayor stated grimly. Then the room started to shift and convert into something else. The headless mayor's sinister laughter erupting once again from her non-existent muzzle. That'll have to work. That'll have to work. Control R. The headless mayor stated grimly. Then the room started to shift and convert into something else. The headless mayor's sinister laughter erupting once again from her non-existent muzzle. Okay. It's gonna sound a teensy bit off, but I don't care. Okay, so we have to get this, I think, right to here. The headless mayor stated grimly. Then the room started to shift and convert into something else. The headless mayor's sinister laughter erupting once again from her non-existent muzzle. A mirage of dish from her non-existent muzzle. Different, not disherent. A mirage of different structures suddenly erupted from the ground, separating all four of them before they even had a chance to move. It all happened too fast to comprehend, and in less than seconds, four friends that were together as one were now separated and in for the fight of their lives. Four friends that were together as one were now separated and in for the fight of their lives. Get rid of that. Together as one were now separated and in for the fight of their lives. Together as one. Together as one were now separated and in for the fight of their lives. Literally. Holy crap. Okay, so what I'm gonna have to do before I export this to as the full file is I'm gonna have to run it through FL Studio and export it again. Almost clean. Okay. All right. So we're almost done with one part anyway. I don't know what the hell was happening at the end there, but Jesus Christ. Could you be any more noisy? Oh wait, I should have probably checked. No. Okay, we did got the 20. Oh, excuse me. All I can hope is that it sounds intriguing. No. But I've cut it down to like 41 minutes, so it shouldn't be that bad in FL Studio. The 41 minutes, I guarantee, is probably going to turn close to an hour with all the dialogue added. Not to mention, there's also going to be another part added that doesn't involve me at all, so that's also going to be a thing. Okay, I need some music or something. Flipping tired. How long did that take me? I'm gonna guess maybe 2.5 hours. I'm right on the money. 2.5, basically. Jesus. Oops. So fun. This is a fun song.
You know, Liberty Mutual customizes your car insurance, so you only pay for what you need.
Like how I customized this scarf.
Check out this backpack I made for Marco.
Only pay for what you need.
Liberty, 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 liberty.
And now a word from our benevolent leader, the Royal Highness Princess Celestia.
Oh, also, don't be concerned, but I have to take an all-inclusive multivitamin for her because my immune system will start to become drastically compromised. I think is what you meant to say. Hey, I watched and liked that video you are currently watching, the one by Prince Whatever. Yeah. Love Prince Whatever. Love his music. I tried to learn this song quite a while ago when I first saw the original, but it's a little tricky. I won't lie. Just the chugging patterns. Plus the tuning I have to put it in is really, really, really hard to get to. Especially on a guitar that doesn't want to stay in fucking tune. It's in drop A, by the way. That's like Slipknot's tuning. Like this twist at the end, I didn't see that coming. I'm like, oh, so that's where Celestia was. That's where Celestia was. She was kind of like facing her sins. The only thing I wish he would have like mixed up a little bit is that little melody right there that you can hear in this chorus. That thing. It's a little repetitive. Right there he changes it, but just a little too repetitive, but that's okay. I can let that slide. Some things are just kind of hard to change up.
Hi, we're Fiverr, a global market.
And there's this one. I've learned this one and wrote my own little solo to it.
Bending down to the ground to put on your shoes is kind of a pain. Until now, introducing new Skechers slip-ins, hands-free technology.
This one's fun, except the freaking the timing it's in. Oh my god. So palm muting to this thing is really hard. Mental, elemental. Elemental, elemental. Are we done? Okay, so I have to import this now into FL Studio. Wait for where you are, the elements call to a spark, not done for something greater. 6 friends who would cast out the dark. Da -da 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 -da. You'll have to just fight or fly away. Yourself and everything will be. Are you scared of this fight? How do you know if you're right? I trust what's in your heart. Don't let them tear you apart. And you think that you're cornered. We'll be there pushing forward. It's this we're fighting for. You're part of something more. You're elemental, elemental. Sometimes you're too temperamental. Elemental, elemental. God, your ego's monumental. Elemental, elemental. But you be so sentimental. Elemental, elemental. A 6 can't be accidental.
So why are you here? What is it you fear? Look inside yourself. I think you'll see answers.
Yeah, down picking that would be impossible. Unless you're like James Hetfield. Yeah, I couldn't figure out this solo. So I just made my own. Screw that. Are you scared of this fight? How do you know if you're right? I trust what's in your heart. Don't let them tear you apart. And you think that you're cornered. We'll be there pushing forward. This is what we're fighting for. You're part of something more. We're elemental, elemental. This is something detrimental, elemental, elemental. Magic is not essential, elemental, elemental. Forget about the elemental, elemental, elemental. A 6 can't be accidental. Very catchy. Okay, so I gotta get the limiter about right where I had it before. Let it by the spark. The tents that were cast out the dark. Okay, I do not remember what lines I redid, but I suppose we can try and find them. Hopefully it doesn't fuck up everything else.
The mayor's voice boomed from the speakers, coming through loud and clear to every pony's eardrums. Attention!
Excuse me.
Attention all residents of Ponyville.
Oh, that's fine. Well, I can already guess what it's going to sound like if I just go to the end and play that one line back.
A mirage of different structures suddenly erupted from the ground, separating all 4
Ow.
of them before they even had a chance.
Okay, so one of them was right here.
And the room started to shift and convert into something else. The headless Applejack line?
Okay.
The headless mayor stated grimly. Then the room started to shift and convert into something else. The headless mayor's sinister laughter erupting once again from her non-existent muzzle.
Yeah, I think that's fine. So, export that. Now that that's applied, return.
It's hard to believe that Mint Mobile can be good at just $15.
Full
So,
clean.
as Mint's new owner, I brought in one of our first and oldest customers, Wasim McNavy.
Welcome to Mint, Ryan.
So you've had Mint for years. Any issues?
No, the service has been great.
And under my ownership, it's gonna get even better.
How?
No idea.
Oh, we're fine. Oh, shit. Sorry guys, I mean to silence you. Oops. What did I do? Sorry, I did not mean to close that. No. I take my vitamin this morning. Well, afternoon, whatever. I know I'm close on that riff. I've got to be. It's... Ow.
Well, since this is nearly done.
Oh, guys, my God. Whoops. Hate this trap. Yikes. I am in the wrong tuning. But it's... that riff is like... I can't hear. It's something like that. Nope. It's something like that. He plays it right there, but I would like to play that here. It's something like that. Because he does that, I need to tune the other strings, not just these. Even though this is a very top stringy song. Ugh. Nope. It's something like that. I fiddled with that song for a little bit. So, how are you doing? You're doing okay. Okay. Ah. It's the beginning part that I don't have down. Something like that. Then there's Elemental, which the tuning for that one is so weird. It's not that. It's one step higher, I believe. But I still don't think that's right. Nope, still too low. Something like that. Okay. Yeah, that's right. It's been a while. Ah! I cannot do it in this freaking tuning, or not this tuning, this speed. Nope. Yeah, that was a fun little soul I came up with. Something like that. Kind of like how the Fight the Swarm one was like a... God damn it. Something like that. A little sloppy. Okay, let's go upload this to the drive. Okay, I can use this one. Google Drive. Okay, so I think I can get rid of the raw file. Well, actually, I don't think I want to do that. I have a copy of it anyways, so I can get rid of this. Believe it or not, that is actually really simple. Because you're literally just playing with the top string. That would be right there. Oh shit, I need to change the name of that file. Part 1. Ugh. Oh, fine. Are you kidding me? There we go. Totally messed up on that last part. Alright, so that's uploaded. But yeah, the Genty rock, you're literally like playing octaves. Yikes. Yikes. Whoops. But yeah, if I bring the camera down, like all I am literally doing is just over and over again. And then just adding some vibrato and some rhythm to it. That's literally, yeah, I'm just doing that motion over and over again. And just doing it over and over again. Yikes. And I'm just saying like double taps. Like double taps because that's an octave. If you hear this, if you hear that note, it's the same one. That's why it sounds so similar. Then just go into the lower octave, which is the open. Then you can add those like chugs kind of stuff. You can even do that up on the top strings, like 3, 4, 5. Like that. Add some palming if you want to. Then you get like the the pirate music kind of vibe. Add some harmonics. And that's just diddling right there. Following the, I think the C scale? Something like that, I don't know. Why do these streams always turn to guitar playing streams? Because I turn on Prince Whatever and then I want to play, that's why. I don't know. Then if I want to really get kind of creative, I could put on, let's see, an echo, a little chorus to it. Give it kind of, you know, the Hendrix kind of sound. Nope. again, that's just kind of going up the scale. Or not the scale, but going up the strings. Like I'm just doing this little move. That's like a common little move that I do. Just climbing up the, like, just the strings, like between the markers. Then that takes a lot of practice and coordination. Then just holding out those notes, that's another thing I like to do. Why do I always struggle with this part? Ugh. I don't know. That part always gets... a little messy. You want a really good one, go watch the one that just came out. Then if you want to get like demonic kind of sounding. Then there's a Prince Whatever tune right there. Wrong tuning, but... Nope. That might... Ooh, that was a little close. Nope. And not tremolo, phaser. So it sounds kind of like Alien.
fiddling. But one that I have written, hopefully this doesn't get YouTube's attention by any means. Do I have any settings on that thing? Maybe just the tape echo. Am I in the right tuning? Yes. Nope. This is one of mine. Nope. Wait, what? Oh, yeah, that's right. It's normally that right there, but I'll play it the way it's supposed to be. Yeah.
That's something I've written. Though it's normally up here in this tone. So it's a little deeper than that. And that solo is very tedious but fun. Very like very what, half-steppy stuff? But very simple actually. Especially that pinch harmonic right there, that's actually really easy. But my favorite riff in that entire song is this part. That part. Because it's actually a really simple little riff. It goes like 3-bar, then kind of not pinch harmonic, pentatonic based like stuff. Like 6-3 up the string to another to 6. And I can never get that pinch harmonic. Of course, now I hit it. Solo's fun, and that riff is really fun. Some fun little chords in there too that that most people don't play. So, like, they're what? How many frets apart? Like a stretch of 5. So, first one's like 4 to what? 8. So. So it's actually a 4-fret stretch. But that's the first one. Then the second one, clear up here on the 1st and the 3rd. Or 1st to 5. So that is a 5-fret stretch. And it goes so quick you don't even realize it. Because this stretch is even tough for me. But I've got long fingers, so I can go pretty far. One of my favorite Prince Whatever tracks to play is what's that one called? Guardians of Equestria. Again, wrong tuning. I'm 1 step too high. But that one is a lot of fun. Like it would normally be right there. I cannot do that straight. Yeah, it would be open, but so we're just gonna do it 1 step higher. But that would go like this. Sounds too happy. But I had to write a solo for that one as well because his is way too hard for me. Nope. I don't know, something like that. Was he really trying? There's the first one. Then the second one just kind of changed up a little bit. Anyways, I think I'm going to call it there. I'll practice guitar some more. It's actually nice to wind down from after I'm done doing stuff. Yeah, I'm just going to watch YouTube. Thank you all for joining me, and I'll see you